Hey everyone. Um, just wanted to do a quick stream because I've been thinking about a topic that is profoundly important um, with respect to our country and our humanity and our role in the world as Christians. And I see so much vitriol and hate being slung in so many different directions as lives are impacted, as friendships are impacted, as neighborhoods are impacted. And I thought a lot about this after almost passing away last week, whether me starting brand new, whether I'm talented or not, and my academic background and being inclined to understand and continue to follow on a regular basis international affairs and having training in intercultural communications and being respectful and knowledgeable of others' cultures and having an international framework from which I view the world, a global lens in my ideas and in how I view humanity, but in a deeply embedded Christian framework. There are so many of our fellow Americans who are Jewish who have been subjected to so many various rumors and things beyond their individual control, particularly young people, that is so unfair to them to bear the burden of these ideas of Jewish people controlling America, controlling the banking system, controlling the world. There are very successful Jewish people in very important sectors around the world. And in part, that was due to the historical nature of their suppression, forcing them to be better, to work harder, to systematically think in different ways and outside the box to create success. In other words, to be more talented than others. And that is something that should never generate hate unless power is used in ways to harm individuals. And I think that that is really the point where individuals should be able to sit down and have thoughtful human discussions without the predilection of hate and ruining lives that is occurring at the moment. And so for me, starting out as nothing in this space and then having a very different idea of how I want to view America and give community agency and control of seeing the world through my lens, but with their support in real live streams with Kick, and then in sharing news and my opinions from a Christian lens and in my global mindset here on Rumble, and in taking the opportunity in Rumble to also pray and pray openly. I want to pray for people who are not receiving a lot of prayer right now, despite the fact that my brothers and sisters in the Lebanese Maronite community are suffering right now. And that is to pray for Israelis and to pray for Jewish Americans that love surround their lives and love be central to their peaceful day to day interactions with their fellow human beings, despite the pressure increasing. all around them. I pray that we don't retreat into ideological camps that build up walls and prevent friends from having conversations with each other and going to dinner with each other because they're worried that their differences of opinion are so fundamentally important that it now makes them incompatible to share a grounding in love. And that will never be the case for me as a Christian and in anything that I try and communicate as I grow this show. And so I simply wanted to share that message today that I love you to our Jewish Americans who are proud Americans, who contribute to society, and who have faith in God and let that faith drive their lives. And I love you to the Israelis who follow that same core belief system of love and faith in building relationships that are based upon honesty and love and communication. It's the same standard that I hold to all human beings. But I think that Israelis and Jewish Americans need to hear that message of love from people outside their community right now because it's quite easy to blame groups of people when things appear to be going wrong for you in your individual life. But take it from this man living on the streets, doing gig work that is far below what I've worked for my entire life. I was brought here by my own mistakes, not through some geopolitical conspiracy. And my love and my faith will be what ends my suffering. And I just know that there are many who are scared and suffering right now in the Israeli community as a normal, everyday citizen and as a Jewish American who is worried about how the variance of opinion with respect to two independent states in the United States and America, the variance and diverging interests that are starting to appear, it does not mean that those outcomes related to a new framework or a new infrastructure of such a relationship has to be driven by hate or has to have hate embedded in its core principles. We must avoid that at all costs, as human beings and as the next generation who will take power in political leadership and in spiritual leadership and in entertainment leadership and in education leadership and in business leadership. I hope that message resonates with you because it's a message from someone who has nothing right now, but I have enough core love and hope and faith that the decisions I'm making right now to change what I'm doing and potentially really put all my chips, at the center of the table if I promote the help I need on LinkedIn, being completely transparent and open and honest with everyone I've ever known in business throughout my 22 years is a big risk that I'm praying for discernment on. And in doing so, I just felt the need to tell my fellow Americans who happen to be of Jewish faith, or maybe are even Israeli dual citizens, that I love you and I care about your safety and I care about your intellectual freedom and your freedom in faith and your freedom to have your own opinions, free of tyranny or of monitoring, and your safety. And to the Israeli in everyday normal individual citizens, that I also care about your freedom and your safety, your faith, and your ability to express love. And I pray that results in a lasting peace with all of your neighbors who have also suffered. And God bless you. Have a great day.